You're listening to Out of Office, a travel podcast.
Your go-to podcast for all things travel. And welcome to the second episode of Out of Office, a podcast. Ooh.
Finally.
I wish you could call it Out of Office a podcast. Finally, a podcast. Finally, a podcast.
Second episode.
Actually, maybe. Girl, I'm going to add that to the book. Out of Office, finally a podcast.
So this episode is all about Airbnbs versus hotels. I won't tell you
Ding, ding, ding,
which
ding,
one I
ding.
prefer yet. But no.
Just know, we both agree on the same one. We both agree on the same one. Automatically.
We're going to break it down. Safety overall, solo travelers, group travelers, since we're still in a pandemic, cleanliness, how they clean.
We're gonna do the pros and cons.
Yeah, pros and cons. Yeah. So it's gonna be very interesting, and I believe we both have a lot of experience in this arena.
This ain't the final showdown.
We
This
can
is the beginning.
talk about it.
Yeah.
So let's start with Airbnbs first. Let's start with Airbnb.
Damn, now you already know what I don't like.
No, let's start with Airbnb.
So let's start. Okay.
There's pros and cons to both.
So we're in the middle of a pandemic. We need to obviously talk about safety.
Yeah.
Right? That's the first thing. First thing out of the gate. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
You know which one she prefers then.
As someone who is, I am going to dub myself officially a solo traveler. Shout out to me. Right? Because as a woman, let me fix my clothes. As a woman, traveling by yourself is already dangerous.
Yeah.
Traveling by yourself and then staying somewhere by yourself in a hotel is dangerous because people can follow your hotel room and God knows ain't no soundproof. You got soundproof doors, whatever. People can get in, but traveling by yourself to a neighborhood that you don't know, living in somebody else's house,
it's another layer.
The girls are not with it. The girls are not.
So for me, Airbnbs, although beautiful, right? They have
some of them. The super host. Well, first of all, let's tell them how to pick the right
super host.
Let's educate you.
Super host.
You need to fix them filters.
Always.
You click on filter. You click on what is super host.
Yeah, they'll have the super host at the top.
Right, and then you click on full.
Yeah.
But I've never done a room. I will never do a room.
No,
I don't even want to be in my own room.
What's your problem? Do the full house though, yeah.
Full house, right? So always super host. If you see someone as a super host and a rare find, that's a gem.
Yeah.
You win on that one because that means that person is very popular.
Great customer service. The people who stayed with them before felt very safe, which is important.
Now, what I don't like about Airbnb, they just get a little slick, right? They can have 4 reviews, super host. Because all 5 reviews were good. So you need to look at Superhost, you need to look at Rare Find, and you need to see how many reviews they have.
Definitely.
Because if they have 1,000 views and they're a Superhost, they good money.
That's consistent.
Very consistent. They ain't having the whole family write their reviews for them.
And then solo, if anyone who knows me, if you don't know who I am, which is pretty normal.
You don't know my friend.
You don't
have to know my friend.
But I am big on solo travel. Okay, I wouldn't go as far to say as I hate group travel, but
I hate it.
I hate group travel. It's very hard to find a good travel tribe because people travel so differently. So I do a whole lot of solo travel. And with working in the industry, and then it's something that I just super love to do, I find that I need a little more security than what the average Airbnb
I need
can
security.
Provide, I need video cam.
Security.
Walking in. I need
Now, I will
say,
because since we talking security, if you go someplace that has, a gated area, like when I went to South Africa, like I was telling you, I insisted on staying in Sanditon because Sister Girl had to feel rich, okay? I am rich. And so I made sure that I stayed in a really nice condo that had a security guard at the gate and everything. The only way you could have get into my place would have been if I gave them your name.
Yeah.
Rich.
That's actually pretty great because the same thing happened to me in Trinidad.
Yes.
They had the people I got my Airbnb from, they had a compound attached to a farm. They had land.
Damn.
Okay. So all those nights coming home 2, 3, 4
And
in the morning.
that's the main thing, especially if you're going to do solo travel. You need to think about that safety, because I don't know if y'all like me, but when I go away, scared where?
Very
Scared where?
bold.
One thing with me, I go walk around Costa Rica 4 o'clock in the morning.
Why are we like that? Because you wouldn't do that.
And that's it.
You
I
would not
wouldn't
do
walk
that here.
around 12 o'clock.
You wouldn't do that. Here.
And so, yes. So, in terms of safety, you have to think about that.
Yeah.
We're not for that.
Next.
It's a no.
But definitely,
It's
you can really look out. But for me, and I know we were going through like this bit by bit, but I want to just add a little bit about hotels here. When I look at Airbnbs versus hotels, I like, to a certain extent, for me to be kind of tracked. Okay, like where my comings and goings are. Like I know the
I want to
lobby
see
camera,
the security.
you know, the lobby camera, and Tony from front desk saw me.
No, for real.
On the 23rd.
Unless Tony from front desk is a part of the kidnapping.
Or Chantel. Man, why you have to bring that up?
God damn. I'm just saying.
Emotional damage.
Wear your wigs, girls.
But no, seriously, Airbnbs, I find like they are great for, well, we're going to talk about cost next. They're great for
I got something to say about that.
With group travel.
They're excellent.
Great. But for solo travelers, I wouldn't say that would be the best option.
It's not the best option. Full stop, girl. Don't bring this up.
No, because
it is not the best option.
Come
Women,
on, you've had great experiences, so we can't really knock it out completely.
I had a great experience as a solo traveler at Airbnb.
Wow.
I've never traveled solo to an Airbnb.
Okay then. Well,
Never.
that knocks that out.
And Dominique Rhea Butler never will.
I just
Number
don't
one,
do
because I
Airbnbs.
can't pay down on.
I don't do
I gotta pay in
Airbnbs.
full.
But security was the first thing. So security is lacking
Security. So
overall.
cleanliness is next.
You know?
In terms of Airbnbs.
So I hate to keep repeating this, right? But
I've
we still in the
never-
friggin' pandemic.
I've never stayed in a dirty Airbnb though.
It's not right, but
Yeah.
I feel like
They sanitize every
they're not held to the same standards as hotels. Right? So where hotels have to sanitize the room, have 24-hour or sometimes 72-hour space between their guests, an Airbnb owner, they don't have to do that. Someone could leave there at 12 p.m. and you could be in there at 1.
That third layer bedding could have blood.
You know? Girl, what are you just watching a lot of crime shows? What's happening?
I do watch a lot of crime
I do
shows.
too. But keep that inside. I'm trying to scare people. I'm trying to scare the people.
I mean, I trying to scare y'all from staying.
No, not Airbnbs. I'm clearly we're both like pro hotel, but I won't say that Airbnbs
I
don't
will
have
say
their benefits.
every single Airbnb that I have stayed at has been impeccable.
It's been good.
Impeccable. Okay. That's just the fact of the matter.
Yeah.
But it ain't always be that.
So security, not too sure about that. Cleanliness depends on the host. You know, like hotels have government entities that they got to look up to and, you know, report to.
Yeah.
Hotels, each host is different. You don't really know the practices. So that's a little,
But in a
thing for
panty?
me. It's another layer. Like you don't know,
Yeah.
were these dishes even washed properly? That freaks me out a little, you know. And to add on to security, I know this might sound like, I don't know if it happens so much in the Western world, but Airbnbs also hidden cameras, you know.
So I never said that. Thanks.
Owners
Thanks.
that claim that you have the whole house, but they're still there, like secret room. Like Airbnbs.
I don't like
it can
owners
be,
who let themselves in.
you know,
while
it
I'm
can be a
there.
hit and miss. It can be a definite hit and miss with
Yeah,
Airbnbs.
yeah.
So I'm not a fan of them. I think if you're with like a huge group, 6 or
Yeah.
7 of y'all, I get it.
Yeah.
You don't want to get probably 4 rooms, fine. But not my favorite. Although we have to give something to Airbnbs. Sometimes they're in places that hotels just cannot.
yeah.
Like the neighborhood that you
Like how I
stayed in.
said in Sanderson.
You know?
Yes.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
You know, some
Yeah.
of them have views that some hotel properties they just can't have because, you know, smaller buildings and stuff like that. So like it can work, but I don't think the trade-off is
If you're
particularly
doing group
worth
travel,
it.
yeah.
It works.
So in terms of your costs, your loyalty points, right? Your reserve now pay later option. That's my girl. That's my girl. But anyway, in terms of, you know, your points and your costs and everything, Airbnbs many times can be cheaper. For example, Jamaica. Laurie, we just was talking about this
Yeah.
last week. Lord Jesus. If you go into Jamaica, carry someone who's spending money. Because
Stop it.
the hotels are expensive, but they worth it.
And to
However-
be fair, the trip she was planning was in the middle of spring. Okay? in the most touristy part of the island.
Well, when else?
It's
would
the
you
whole
go?
year. It's the whole year you could go to Jamaica.
I have to see Jamaica in the spring.
See, now listen, don't let me
in
start.
March.
Don't let me start. You can't talk for my second home like that, you know.
I have to see Jamaica specifically.
Nah, you don't have to specifically see them in March. Anyway. January through December is a great time to visit Jamaica, okay?
You go to Jamaica anytime for real, though. But the main thing is, so for example, in an instance like that, in terms of cost, Jamaica came through clutch for Airbnbs in terms of cost. Yeah. Because Jamaica is mostly in all-inclusive. And you know, when you're paying for all-inclusive, you pay all-inclusive prices. And so there are a lot of places where the Airbnbs are cheaper. Like South Africa, I wanted to stay in 5-star, 4-star hotels. The prices just was in there.
But I mean, we could talk about that when we get into points, though, because I want you to know I've stayed in plenty.
I don't have but what about people who don't have?
We could talk about how
I didn't
to get them.
I didn't have them yet.
We could talk about how I didn't have them yet. We could talk about how to get them.
But yeah, so I wanted to stay someplace like in South Africa. When I went to Cape Town, I wanted to stay someplace on the beach. I wanted to wake up and see the water rushing towards me. Wow.
Okay, Miss Bougie, I like it though.
The hotel did not have that, so, and it was cheaper, you know. So
let's stick a pin with cheaper though. Let's remember cleaning fees with Airbnbs lately.
Oh, girl.
Because the rate would be great. The rate would be great. We're like, oh, what?
$66 a night.
That's fine. And then you get hit with a $400 cleaning fee, and it's like,
who you having to clean? What does Consuela do? What does she do?
Consuelo.
That's what I always call my cleaning people, Consuelo.
But no, like you gotta watch out for that because some of the Airbnbs, when you get a great location, the cleaning fees are a whole lot, and then you just might as well stay in a hotel. You just might as well stay in a hotel.
I might as well clean the Airbnb myself.
I'll clean for you. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But no, so Airbnbs, we can say location, they might have a slight upper hand over hotels. That's all I'm gonna give them.
Might.
It's true. Might.
Big might.
So we're gonna talk about. Okay, I'm a loyalty points girl.
Hold on. Let's go back to location. Even in terms of location, right? So think about this: when you're booking your reserve now, pay little option on Viator, or they ask you where do you want to be picked up from, right? Most of the times they have hotels that they automatically go to. Yeah. They don't have the for an Airbnb.
No, they don't.
In Iceland, I had to. Although I did stay at a hotel, you know, they had this long list of hotels for almost every single activity I did. That's definitely a plus in terms of location for me.
Because hotels are always in a location for a little more activity. So you won't necessarily find a hotel with nothing to do around it. But
they
that can
always
happen
put
in
a
Airbnb.
hotel right by the Eiffel Tower.
You know?
Always. Listen,
many.
Literally, when I was searching last night, on Expedia, obviously, I typed in, please don't stop me for highball different downstairs. Deliver. I used to downstairs. Deliver. Louvre. The Louvre, right? Because someone wanted to stay close to there. Oh, we'll talk about my travel itineraries later. But yeah, so someone wanted to stay close to the Louvre, and there were literally on Expedia, you could type in the Louvre. Yeah. They show you hotels that are right in that area.
You could click on the map and then they'll show you all the hotels near all of these.
Even in terms of Amsterdam, they give you hotels that are in the red light district because you know you want body.
That's actually a great trip for me, personally.
See why we got to say this with a neck? Because we
got to talk about trips.
Look how we done back to hotels. So back to Airbnb. Yeah. So in terms of reserve now, pay later option, you can do that with Airbnb. Well, technically, you can do a down payment.
Yeah, they do half. Yeah,
yes.
They do.
Yes, I will say that. Shout out to them for that. The only thing that I would say I want to see them fix in the future is where you can actually see as you're scrolling that this option has a down payment option. Like how I helping y'all. Airbnb,
I haven't seen that for real.
Airbnb app developers, you're welcome.
I haven't seen that for real.
That should be a filter.
It should be. It should be. Because that's important. That would give them a little, edge.
Because when you search on Expedia, Booking.com, hotels,
you can definitely do
you
reserve
filter
now,
reserve.
Pay later.
Girl, what else I could do?
That's the only thing I use.
That and how many stars? That's it.
No. So we can agree. Let's give Airbnb their props right now.
Hey.
Potentially have great locations. Okay. Possibly you can get some good security. But the best sell-off is really group travel.
Yeah.
Group travel, if you're doing group travel,
stay in that Airbnb.
You can definitely do an Airbnb. It's gonna be worth it.
Yeah,
you know,
it's always worth
you
it.
split transport costs anyway. It's gonna make sense.
If you're a solo traveler,
Hotels.
please, Jesus.
Hotels.
Please.
And I have another layer to add on to that. Although, I don't know, Dom, you might disagree, but I like to stay at hotels that are attached to a major known chain. Now, it doesn't have to be their flagship hotel.
I slightly,
But it
depends.
can be. They have boutique properties as well, depending on the size you want. Because sometimes you get some good reviews, even on Expedia, for these boutique properties.
And they don't be boutique.
And then
I will say,
another hotel.
it depends on where I go. Like, when I was looking at Ireland, I was like, I want to stay in a castle. I don't want to stay in, you know.
You're staying in a castle?
You know how I do it.
Oh, pictures, thanks.
Big mood.
Oh.
No, for real. I wanted to stay someplace that looked country-ish. You know that movie? What the movie is Leap Year? Where homegirl went after her silly boyfriend?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why do I know that? I don't even watch movies.
You're welcome. But she went to Ireland, and she was like in the countryside, and there was like these nice B&Bs. I was like, oh, I want to do that. So, yeah.
But it works though. Like, for instance,
it depends on where you go. It really depends.
We have some hotels that are boutique hotels, you know, like French Leave in Eleuthera.
Oh,
it's attached to a Marriott signature
But I didn't know that.
portfolio. Yes, they are. So it's like, I love, because it's an accountability thing for me. If something goes wrong,
I call in everyone.
HQ go find out.
Yeah.
You know.
I never thought about that. I always trying to give the smaller guys my money. Because
But sometimes the smaller guys are in these programs.
La Bougainville in a program.
I love that property. It's a gorgeous place.
Listen, and the price they
In
give
Gregory
too
Town,
big.
Gregory Town in Eleuthera.
I thought it's Palmetto Point.
No, babe, behind that far down.
Wow, I don't know.
That radar.
I know how to get there.
Not Gregory Town.
It
Governor's
is
Harbor.
No, this Palmetto Point. I could bet you.
It's off of Governor's
I bet
Harbor.
you 2 cents.
Listen, it's the curve before you get into town.
I know where that curve.
Drive back down, but past the what you call it? Oh gosh,
How much you want?
the nature.
I bet you $5.
It's off of Governor's Harbor.
I'm betting you $5.
How many Nasuvians you know where Palmetto Point
I
is?
know where it is. I'm telling you this.
Not you. How many people?
No, for real though.
They know.
Palmetto Point.
The average Bohemian knows Governor's Harbor because he had to learn that in social studies in elementary school. Okay?
Google ain't working right now.
Oh, where is it? Where is it?
Your attitude is really poor.
Wow, that's crazy.
For a woman of your color, your attitude is really poor. Your attitude is really poor.
I want my $5 when we leave it. Anyway, the point is,
money is a social construct.
you know, if we wasn't in the middle of this, I would leave you here.
Money is a social construct.
Anyway, it's definitely, I like chains because I like to be able to.
How we don't get on hotel?
Because we were done
You're
with
so
Airbnbs.
excited to
No,
talk about it.
well, okay, tell me what else we talked about Airbnbs then. We talked about location, cleanliness,
We talking about
security,
hotels. You right.
cost.
You true that.
Airbnb
True
had
that.
its
So
time.
we on safety.
Yeah,
So we on safety.
Okay. So like I was saying, major chains. Major chains, I like them because it's like layers of accountability, right? One thing no international company wants is bad press regarding their guests and safety. It's one thing they're not going to do about. So with hotels for me, you have security cameras on the external, security cameras in the lobby, security cameras in the hallways. You have a key card to get into your room that is time stamped, and it lets you know which key card was used.
You work in the hotel.
Listen, security, okay?
Unless
security,
the equalizer comes after you and blocks
the
out all of
equalizer,
those
Dom.
cameras.
The equalizer.
You never
What
know.
have you done in your life? What have you done in your life for the equalizer to come?
security. No, but I listen. I'm with you there. I like when I did Kenya. I went 2 weeks after a terrorist attack. Right? Sorry, mommy. She don't know that.
She might know now.
Well, you know that's life. I live my life how I want to live. But please still cook me tonight. But yeah, I went 2 weeks after a terrorist attack, and when I tell you that these people checked every nook of the car, they had one of those glass things that
They put under.
Yes, they put under the car, like security out of the backside. Yeah, so security definitely hotels they win.
They because at
They
the
win all
end
the
of the day,
time.
they're protecting you, but they're also protecting themselves ultimately.
Yeah, please protect me.
You don't
first.
want
Please
they
protect-
don't want nobody sue them. They don't want bad press. They don't want to lose business. So when it comes to hotels, especially as a solo traveler, I will always choose.
Always.
Now, granted, there are some boutique properties, boutique properties that, you know, I've given a try. Like when I was in London, I stayed in Kensington to this small boutique property. It was nice, right?
However.
No, it's not even however.
Oh, okay,
it wasn't attached to a major chain. But I felt very safe with them.
The boutiques, I feel like they always have a standard that they have to live up even higher too. Because you working for yourself. You are not attached to a name. So that little country B&B place in Ireland I'm about to go to, y'all fix me up, eh?
But I would like if it's a boutique property, definitely check the reviews, man. You know, no, I prefer not to go the ones.
This should go without saying.
But it has to be said. I don't think how we travel is one thing, you know. But I don't think like the average person, they might see a picture and be like, oh, that's nice, and book it. But it had one review and it opened last August.
My trust.
You know? So check your reviews on anything. I beg of you. Please check the reviews.
You don't got to read every review, but the easy way to get through it is don't mind. Like Expedia does. Girl, like, I love them, but I hate them for this one thing. The hotel property will be 3 stars. But the people, girl,
the gas rating
will be like 4.5 stars. Girl, y'all think y'all slick.
So be careful about
y'all think y'all slick because the gas rating could be based on the amount of people that stayed there. All 5 of them.
Oh gosh. But definitely check it. I like to check the worst reviews as well.
Oh no, one thing. I type in roach. Like, let's get to the point.
That would do it.
Are there roaches?
That would do it.
That's the first
thing. But check the worst, because like mold, some people
type in the word mold.
Some people like they have comments on hotels, and it's honestly not the hotel's fault.
No.
Right? No, well, so I like to. It's certain things. It's certain things. Certain things. No, it's certain things that I feel
some
like
people just picky.
Exactly. There are very miserable travelers out there. You know, that would go to a boutique hotel that's $96 a night and expect service from like the Shangri-La. Okay,
girl,
that's not how it works.
No, that's
you have to be realistic in your choices. So I like to look through that. If I see a few of those, I'm just like, but if I see mold, roach, plumbing problems. Plumbing?
I type in the word small too, because that is telling me right there, like, okay, I'm not an architecture goyle, okay? So I see the place says 129 square feet. I'm like, that's big,
and you're like, what is that?
Until I look at the review. It's very tiny, and of course, you know, Europe is famous for tiny hotel. My God, especially Amsterdam. You turn around, you hit the wall. You turn around, you hit your bed. You hit the door.
You're paying for convenience and to be in the middle of it.
You paying to sleep.
Oh, I keep hitting
you paying
to... Sorry, guys.
You paying to have somewhere to sleep. Literally, that's how I feel.
And hold your back. But
so
security, hotels win for me because I like to be alone. Okay, that sounds horrible to say.
And the beds feel like
so. Woo! It's extra.
Boy, coming home after a long day in the heat. And that AC, because I know the AC.
Always. And I know when I leave, after I come in, you know, and I, you know, have my sleep after flying in for who knows how long. And I go out the next day. When I come back, my room is
not always clean.
Well, it is for me.
Because hold on, let's touch that.
What, pandemic starts?
Yes. They don't clean your room anymore a lot of places. Iceland, my room was never once clean.
You opt out.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pandemic.
I was out there playing.
When I was in Boston, they did for me. What happened was they asked me if I wanted my room cleaned. So that would be something that happens every day.
What's the name of this place? I would like to stay there. I would like to stay there. But no, a lot of these places, during the pandemic, I'll give you a bly.
Because that's safety. We get it. But typically, that's what would happen. And I like the feeling of being out all day, you know, on my adventure tip and come back.
And not having to, like, stress.
No. Because then I just stay in an Airbnb.
And then another good thing about hotels is if you don't know where to go, you go to the front desk.
And they are ready with all the information about the popular spots, how close they are. Yeah. And if you, I always believe that you should be like really nice to all of the people that you encounter. Right?
Tip your cleaning staff.
And particularly, this saved me in San Francisco. This was 2018. Wow. So long ago. It saved me. So I actually went to San Francisco when there was the 2 fires. I don't know if you remember that. So it was like hazy. Napa, there was a fire in Napa, and I think there was a fire in Sonoma.
I thought Cali always burning.
Yes, but at this particular time, There was two at the same time, so it was very smoky, and I wanted to do some wine stuff. And I was talking to the guy, I can't remember his name, bless his soul, but he heard my accent and was like, "You from the Caribbean?" And I was like, it was like his grandmother from Puerto Rico, so I give him a bly.
No, come on, all of us one family.
I give him a bly, and he was like, "Listen, don't go to any of those tours. You're not going to get a bang for your buck. There are a bunch of wine bars that have all. No, I told you I'm a very organic.
Girl, you could kill.
I don't, but guess I have great trips though.
Girl, you could kill.
Listen, I have great adventures.
Like one thing with me, like if I want to go to Napa Valley on Thursday the 20th and it ain't open, I could be mad.
See that, and I wouldn't. I found a bunch of wine tours that had all of in the city that had all of the wines that I wanted to try.
Oh, nice,
with a better pricing. So definitely hotels,
yeah.
front office staff.
They are people.
They're gonna help you out.
Yeah,
they're gonna help you out.
Be nice to them, babe. Please
don't be.
These people be working all through the night, watching out for your back, stopping the guy at the front gate when he bring my food. Be nice.
You just went to food
real,
delivery.
One of
as
them,
they should.
They're looking for you.
They do. So be nice. Security and hotels, for me, that's synonymous. Something I really like. We kind of touch on cleanliness with them, cleaning, and not trying to be in your space all the time. So my hotel, they asked me the night before. Well, they told me to just let them know the night before if I wanted my room cleaned. So that's how that works. Typically, you would get a turnover service. Things would be great. And one thing I like with the hotels now is that they have this range of from 24 to 72 hours, depending on the hotel, that your room no one is supposed to be in there before you. So they would sanitize. Oh,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So they give it space in between.
Yeah.
Oh, let the dirty
space
out.
between bookings. So if you go on Expedia, they'd have like a little line under the pictures, I believe, before you get to the booking that would say, sanitized. 24 hours.
Oh, yes. I know
hours.
what you mean. Okay, yes.
So I really like that too. That's a great way to adapt, because you
just need that.
You really don't want to be up in everyone's space because, viruses can still live on surfaces, maybe the housekeeping staff had a bad day and missed that one spot, and you catch it. So that's what I like about it. But now we can talk about the best thing.
The cost. The reserve now, pay
so,
later option.
Dom clearly likes reserve now, pay later. I do too, though.
One thing for me, I can reserve a hotel I see because shout out to Expedia, they be advertising while you're scrolling on Google doing your work. What is a so and so? And Google is be like, oh, get this hotel in India today for reserve now, pay later, no cancellation in 2025 June. Book.
You want to hear a joke?
Book it now.
You know how Japan still closed? Yeah, I have hotels booked. Yes, I have 2 hotels booked.
But are they reserved now, pay later though?
They definitely are.
Oh.
For a country I can't get in.
So we spoke about this on our last episode. Expedia, hotel, booking.com, and what was the next one you said?
Hotel Direct.
Hotel Direct.
So going on the websites, it's you put in your card information or whatever, but hotels typically don't book until, or even put a hold on your card until you check in. Now, some hotels...
Now, don't say that to it all, because, girl...
No, I'm going to break it down. Some hotels will say, hey, I'm going to charge you one night stay. It's very... But most hotels...
It depends. Read that.
Most hotels will, you put your card on file, you have time to cancel before your...
Oh, this is the reserve now, pay later we talking about.
Yeah, but for hotels.
So reserve now,
how it works.
And the good thing about it is, most of them that do reserve now, pay later... It also says free cancellation.
Yeah.
So if you're like me...
And make sure you know the date, though.
Yeah. If you're a serial canceller like me, a serial booker, I reserve every hotel I see that I like on a random day. Because who knows when I can end up in Nepal. You don't know. Exactly.
Knowing you, it might be end of the year.
Exactly. So I reserve those. And what they do in the email is they basically tell you, like, oh, well, you need to be... canceling before this day if you don't want a penalty charge.
Which is typically one night stay.
Now, great story.
Oh, God. What'd you do?
I was supposed to go to Ireland in November. And
I remember that.
I had Hotel Clontarif booked. Very nice. Very nice.
You didn't read the fine print?
No, I read it.
What was it? What happened?
Girl, I didn't cancel it in time.
Oh.
I didn't cancel it in time. But because I didn't stay, they didn't charge me.
Oh,
Girl,
that's nice.
All I see is, how was your stay at Hotel Clontarif?
You forgot? You forgot this completely. They were asking you their checkout. email,
2 days
how was
later,
your stay?
2 days later, asked Dominique when she remembered that she did not stay there and she did not cancel. That's the first time that's ever happened to me in years. So I
You were
really
stressed out though.
That's it.
Stressed out.
I plead the fifth. I was living my life and I wasn't stressing.
Mm-hmm.
I called to Clinton. I was like, "How was your stay, girl? My what?
I did not stay.
All my chest get tight because at a whole 3 night.
But the good part is they didn't charge you.
Girl, be like Dominique, but don't be like Dominique.
See, she talking to me about itineraries, right? But you know who's remember to cancel? Me.
Girl, you was a shady girl.
Okay.
You're shady because
I
that's the first time.
I add that to my calendar.
But the thing is, they send you updates saying, "Hey, book by this
Oh,
day."
you was just okay. Okay. Well, I understand. I don't, but
living my life
you gotta
like it's
lie.
golden. Living my life like
So,
it's golden.
since we're still talking about hotels and reserve pay now later, loyalty points. Loyalty points.
L'Oreal, how many loyalty points you have?
On what?
Expedia.
I actually don't have that much on Expedia.
Girl, you was lying.
I don't have that much.
What
on
is not
Expedia.
that much?
I don't have that much.
What is not that
I have
much?
like maybe like $50 worth of points. It's not that much on Expedia. What?
I wish
That's a lot.
Oh, y'all.
That's a lot.
L'Oreal, to get $50 worth of points, you know how many points
I don't know
you
what
have
you're
to
talking
have?
about, but I will talk about.
No, don't.
I will talk about my
Your loyalty points.
American Airlines Air Advantage. Now, granted, I understand people don't want credit cards. I support you. That is bad.
That Aero
But
Platinum.
you
You didn't get Scotia.
I bank with Scotia.
Shout out to Scotia.
You know, their American Advantage Point card is $1 per point. Right? And because of my business trips and
Now, this
also
when you actually pay for your credit card.
please
Please
off
pay
your credit card. The points are great, but you don't want to like have a bunch of debt. Like
You
that
didn't
don't
even
even
get the
make
points
sense.
without paying off the credit card.
No, you can still get them.
They wasn't giving me. Excuse me.
They can still get them.
Excuse me. I have to make a
They
call.
can still get them.
You just gonna get a real
Pay off
slow.
your- pay off
You
your
get a
credit
dead
card.
slow.
Pay off your credit card, but my points, like just normal groceries, gas.
You pay your bills with your credit card.
Exactly.
And that's how you get your
And that's
points.
how you- so-
I should work for the bank.
And it's not the American Airlines, like the Aero Platinum is a good
The
one
Aero
too.
Platinum is the best.
You know, actually the best is the American Express Platinum.
Oh.
When it comes to travel points, booking travel,
Girl,
they do
you
like
are
four.
fancy.
I didn't say I had one.
Wow.
I didn't say that.
Wow.
I didn't say I had one.
I would like to
All
touch
I'm
it.
saying is that that's best because they have access to different lounges and everything. Like, that's a travel
Ooh.
card.
That's always
That's a
the
travel
level of wealth that I
Wow.
aspire to.
She's not
To
talking
just
about
be like,
me.
no, I'm not gonna go sit down
I want to go
in the
in the
waiting
back.
area. I'm going in the
I wanna
lounge
go in the back.
where they serving the champagne away from the peasants.
Wow, why are you calling people peasants? That's
That's what
classist.
my mommy called me when I used to stay in the back of the plane. She's like, you going to the back of the plane? Well, the germs is.
That's crazy.
The peasants?
Wow. You're just like your mother then.
I said, girl, you know, more leg space in the back.
But no, so my points have paid for round trip from Nassau to London. I might have spent $100 on that ticket. Right now, I have the ticket to Korea. It's hurt.
Girl,
my
you are
heart.
not.
It's
You gonna be
hurt.
hurt telling this.
I know, like I could be so sad when you see me come on Twitter
But
on
guess
March
what?
13th.
You know what happened? We doing this right now, right? When did they make the announcement?
February 6th, you know I'm waiting.
So if they make the announcement to say they open, then this pod would be not invalid.
And I will be in Korea. We'll have an update on another episode about that.
Hopefully
But-
from Korea, maybe. You could
Maybe.
call in.
Hey guys.
Or you could call in.
Hey guys.
Girl.
안녕하세요. Anyway.
What was that?
Nothing.
Ooh.
So back to points though, because you keep getting me sidetracked. What I really like is because every dollar I spend, I have points, right? This is for credit cards. It can be applied to whatever airline I fly on. I do their membership program because you never know.
Listen.
You never know.
Listen to me. Listen to everyone that can hear my voice. You sign up for every single airline that you have ever stepped foot on. You sign up for those freaking flyer miles. It costs you nothing.
Even the ones you haven't been on. I haven't flown Virgin.
I haven't flown Emirates.
And I have a membership.
But shout out to the people on
program.
Emirates.com because they know me. They know.
They say hello and stuff. It's very nice.
That hotel I have reserved in Dubai.
Oh gosh. This girl will reserve everything.
I will reserve it.
But to me, it makes it a lot of it makes it cost effective, man, because there are a lot of times where, like, if you're using Delta, I was looking at a flight that was 50,000 points and $27. You see that?
Wow.
Exactly. Now it might take you time.
Delta, they're giving prices like that?
Yeah.
I don't really fly with Delta like that no more.
I fly them for work. I fly them for work.
See, I love a good AA, because remember I was telling you, from Nassau to New York, my ticket was $120 with my points, and I canceled my ticket 3 times. But because I paid through with points, then people was like, aha, all my points are refund. And they also gave me a refund for the taxes. That's amazing, because in a pandemic right now, what I love is a lot of airlines, they're not charging you.
They're waiving change and cancel
They're not
fees.
charging you to, change your plane, your ticket or anything. And that's perfect, because one like me didn't have the vacation days,
It's a lot of
know-how.
things happening. You have, like I said on last podcast, you have to be adaptable. You have to be flexible to travel right now. And
them points,
those points really help.
The point, yeah. Basically,
really help.
it's a trade. You sign up with them, you give them more of your money, they give you more advantages.
Because let me tell you,
It's simple as
Hilton
that.
Honors, love.
You have Hilton Honors?
I am Hilton. Okay, we're going to go through the list of hotels. It's not that many, because a lot of hotels are actually connected.
I'm not
SPG
a thing
has
for
a lot.
any.
Dom,
I'm
sign up right now.
I'm not You're not gonna talk to me like that.
Hilton Honors member, SPG, Marriott.
Oh.
That's all my hotels. And they cover such a wide range of hotels, you'd be shocked. Like, Hilton has brands.
But see, you travel
Marriott
for work.
has brands.
And I'm sure when you travel for work, you're like, yes, I do want to stay in the Marriott.
Yes, I do. And I use it for my benefit. But on a smaller scale, it can still work for you if you prefer a certain brand, Like, if you love Hiltons, you can stay at a 5-star Hilton, right? Or you can stay at a 3-star Hilton. You're still getting points.
5-star.
You're still getting the points. So the points are going to add up.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you are Hilton hotel members, gold
I can sign up for more hotels tonight.
Do it.
Because my thing is, like, shout out to Lufthansa. I like your website. It's really nice. But I've flown once, but when I flew, I wasn't a frequent flyer. But after that, I became a frequent flyer when they left me.
Sounds like a lot of hurt still left there.
Girl, the people in the airport, they put me on. I was in Germany, and my passport got a watermark. I don't know how I got a watermark. I think it got wet. And so me and my friend were traveling together, and they put me aside, and they was like, your passport looks fake. And you know what I did? I was like, oh, my friend over here, I have the same passport.
You did not. Oh, God.
Well, anyway, we missed our flight. But there was this very, very nice this guy from Benin. He was like, oh, come. He's like, I can fix you up with the next flight going out. He didn't even work for Lufthansa, but he had a friend who worked at Lufthansa. I love my people. I love y'all for real.
Be pleasant, everyone.
I love y'all for real.
Because that's important.
No. Yeah, these people's be able to help.
But you know what's another thing, though?
We didn't even talk about location in terms of hotel.
What? Kind of did.
Yeah.
Because it kind of blended in with the Airbnb side.
Yeah.
With Viator.
Yes, for being able to do
yeah. But what I'd say is people definitely should do membership, because if it's not getting a discount on your night stay, you get other perks. Like, some of them would have, continental breakfast, or you would have, some hotels still charge for Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. You can request a later checkout. Some of these things are only available to members. So every hotel, if you like the brand, sign up. Even if you don't stay often, sign up.
I'm going to sign up tonight. I'm not signed up with...
Sign up.
How did I... Wow.
Anyway. I'm here. I want better for you, that's all.
Now that we've discussed the pros and cons, we already know which one. Y'all know which one we prefer. Like,
what's your favorite? Do you like Airbnbs?
Girl, don't play with me today.
We're both big. We're big supporters of hotels, man.
Because they be given the benefits.
Yeah.
But, one thing that you realize, like, Expedia, they advertise Airbnbs.
They call the apart hotels and the villas, and they started that 2020.
Let's be way at the bottom of the list, though.
Like, always at the bottom. Like, you have to it would be easier to filter them out.
It's like, I don't have nothing else left.
No, this what you want?
I guess. It's like, well, here.
I mean, I get why though. Expedia is an OTA, Airbnb's getting the money that could possibly go to Expedia.
Yeah.
And people would like to go to one place to look for all this information.
And I would
so
like
it don't hurt.
Yeah.
It don't hurt to be on one side.
So definitely I'm a hotel girl.
So am I.
Yeah, so hotels win on this, especially in a pandemic. As a solo female traveler, solo black female traveler.
Yeah.
Because y'all ain't gonna trick and kill me. Y'all ain't gonna trick and kill me. Shout out to Shakira.
Oh,
Y'all ain't gonna trick and kill me,
oh
okay?
my gosh.
Yeah.
It's definitely hotels, though. You know, and they have to put a lot of money in to be able to do it. So
We appreciate that.
we don't lock off Airbnbs totally now. Group travel,
Yeah. On
that
my
might
next
be a
girl
thing.
trip, I'll do. Yeah.
I've never been on a girl trip.
Girls trip are nice. I went on one. It was really nice. I liked it. It was in New Orleans. It was,
Oh, okay.
and we stayed in the Airbnb.
Nice.
It was really nice too, and it was very close to Canal Street. Girl, you was a hater. It
I'm
was
not a
nice.
hater. It's just like I'm so.
But the Airbnb was super nice.
I am sensitive to people messing up my travel. Like,
No, for real. Me too. I wasn't hesitant on that one, but outside of that, you know, I tell like people, I just don't even know how to answer no one. People be like, "Yeah, you coming the next trip?"
no.
I don't say no, but I just be like, "Yeah, I'll let you know."
I just laugh it off. I'm like,
for y'all on Twitter, who I done do
Okay.
that to, I did. Sorry.
I just laugh. I'll give you a little like. You're not, you're not coming on my trip. You're not coming
no,
on
for
my
real,
trip.
for real. Like,
Like, to be honest, Dom, I think you're probably one person I can see myself traveling with.
because we travel like, except for the itinerary
You know?
thing.
The
you could be
itinerary, I
like,
can be flexible, you know. Like, if you say we're doing this
This
and
is
this,
not
and
flexible.
I'm interested, as in I can be flexible to your itinerary way of travel,
I give you a free day.
you know. Why, thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't have a problem with that, especially if it's things that I want to see. I appreciate it. But what I don't like is a lot of people have different travel styles. Some of my closest friends I can't travel with.
Oh no.
You know.
I have this one friend. She know who she is, and I know she probably listening. I will never travel with her ever again. We're good friends. In
It's just
Nassau.
different. Sometimes it's just
I don't like
different.
people who like one thing I don't like is to be rushed. Oh,
There we are.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't rush me. I'm on vacation.
I don't like people criticizing me. I don't like arguments during vacation.
Don't
Girl,
do
we
that.
on. We pay to leave the island. We
Save
can
that. Save that when we back in Nassau if you have something to row about.
No.
Actually, still don't row because I'm not interested.
You could leave.
But
Yeah, you like no. So no, I have people who I definitely. There's only 2 people that I have traveled with that I'm like, I will always go with y'all. Like,
Listen.
like they let
I
me
have
plan.
one.
I have one friend, the one who I went to South Africa and Spain with.
Mm-hmm.
She let me plan the trip and like maybe for a month before the trip, she's like, "How much it costs?"
But that's
Full
people
payment.
like.
She showed up to the airport and just did everything. I was like, "Girl, welcome."
That's how it is. I have
Welcome.
one friend that I travel with. We were together for London, Paris, Paris and Amsterdam, and they went to Belgium and I went to Italy. I went to Milan by myself.
y'all went-
I separated. I was like, okay, I'm not interested in Belgium. I'll go to Italy and I'll meet you all up in Amsterdam. I tell you, like if.
No, I get it. I get it.
But one thing I like is if anyone, if you ever travel with me in the future,
Big if. You
if
probably
do,
won't.
I want you to understand that I will disappear on you. Okay? Not in a bad way. But if you say you want to do X, Y, Z, and I am not interested,
Okay, I
will
can
book.
respect that.
I'll book a completely different
No,
tour.
I respect that.
So I didn't want to go to Belgium, so I did Milan and went to Como and had a great time. Like, I had a great time. So it's just that one thing I don't do when I travel is I don't do things I don't want to do. I don't care who I'm with.
Oh no, I with you,
If
girl.
I don't want to do it,
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not spending my money.
No.
I don't want to spend my money in that, so you think I'm going to spend my money someplace else?
So once we can agree on that, because I know some people like to be together, like, oh, we have to do breakfast,
No,
lunch,
we
dinner,
don't.
da-da-da. No.
Because one thing I can do is I can sleep through breakfast.
Okay, but you can wake up anyway.
Don't mind me,
Wake up-
girl. One thing with
wake
me,
up 4
I eat
a.m.
all 3 meals. Anyway, we have to wrap up our
Yeah, we do.
podcast. This is a good one. This is my favorite
this
one.
was a detailed
This is
one.
only the second
So at
one.
the end of the day, like I keep hearing like boxing bells in my head for the Airbnb and hotel.
Well,
thing.
I'm
I
sorry,
don't
but the
know why. It's like,
Airbnb
ding,
girls
ding.
are dead.
You know, Airbnb. Only thing I can give you is group travel. Everything else, hotels. Please, please,
And then
please.
we didn't even talk
Loyalty
about
points.
how it affects. Anyway, we ain't getting into that.
We can actually do a whole
How it
episode on
affects
that
the economy.
and locally. I have
Especially in the
words.
Bahamas.
I have words. I have many.
I'm happy to see a lot of millennials now, though, and young professionals getting into the, when they buy property, they're like, I want to monetize it, but Airbnb.
Yeah.
And actually, it makes sense.
It does.
Yeah, for
There are
us.
pros and cons still for that, you know.
Yeah.
But we could talk about that
Yeah, it could
on
be
just
neat.
another topic. Another topic for another day. Look at that. But
Anyway.
Hotels win. Thanks for joining us on Out of Office.
Finally, a podcast.
Finally. Thanks for joining us for you. And we'll be talking about more travel things in the future.